All words escape me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls. Hotpara, keep it together.
Haven't I heard this somewhere before?
She sinks another glance at me and her eyes meet for a split second. Listen, I'm not a creep. I'm not weird.
Of infinite choices, I realize now that I wasn't looking in, I was looking out. And he, on the other side, was looking in.
Welcome back to Masquerader. Hi, if you're new here, my name is Para, your host, and today we're going to be playing Doki Doki Literature Club. Now, I asked you guys on Sweetest Valentine Music-E's Brew if you wanted to see Doki Doki Literature Club on the channel, and you guys said yes, so here we are. Let's begin. Okay, actually, it's a really funny thing. There was a person who said that they didn't really want to see me play Doki Doki Literature Club, but sadly the poll won with the rest of you guys who did. But they also said something funny. They said that they were really enjoying my Cycle Dates playlist, and in Dr. Morgan's counseling section, I accidentally put Hotpara instead, and they were like, what if you just put Hotpara instead of Hostpara, you know? So if anything happens, it's not entirely my fault, right? Boom. Perfect. I'm not Hostpara anymore, guys. I'm Hotpara. Alright, let's stop joking around and start Doki Doki Literature Club. Now, I'm playing this blindly. I have no clue. I have like a vague idea what it was. I know it gets a bit like creepy, but I've never watched any playlists, any like Let's Plays of this. Hey! I see an annoying girl running towards me from a distance. I don't really know what her voice is gonna be yet, so I'm not gonna give her a voice yet. I have to see her first. Waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention she might draw to herself. That girl is Sayori, my neighbor and good friend since we were children. You know, the kind of friendship you never see yourself making today, but it just kind of works out because you've known each other for so long. We used to walk to school together on days like this, but starting around high school, she would oversleep more and more frequently, and I would get tired of waiting up. But if she's going to chase after me like this, I almost feel better off running away. However, I just sighed idle in front of the crosswalk and let Sayori catch up to me. Wait, so we don't like you, but we kind of do? Or I guess you're just our neighbor. Listen, Sayori, it's nothing personal, but be a good neighbor and stay over there. I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself. I overslept again! But I caught you this time. Maybe, but only because I decided to stop and wait for you. You said that like you're thinking about ignoring me. That's mean, Hotpara. I can't get over this name now. Every single time she says Hotpara, I'm just gonna start laughing. Is that the wrong choice? Oh my gosh. Well, if people stare at you for acting weird, then I don't want them to think we're a couple or something. Fine. But you did wait for me after all. I guess you don't have it in you to be mean even if you want to. Whatever you say, Sayori. Yeah, I would dump your ass in a second. Sorry, I didn't. I would and I wouldn't. I'd wait. We cross the street together and make our way to school. As we draw near, the streets become increasingly speckled with other students making their daily commute. By the way, Hotpara, have you decided on a club to join yet? A club? I told you already, I'm not really interested in joining any clubs. I haven't been looking either. That's not true. You told me you would join a club this year. Did I? I'm sure it's possible that I did, in one of our many conversations where I dismissively go along to whatever she's going on about. Sayori likes to worry a little too much about me, when I'm perfectly content just getting by on the average while spending my free time on games and anime. I was talking about how I'm worried that you won't learn how to socialize or have any skills before college. What? Oh my gosh, you're playing my whole future, Mom. Your happiness is really important to me, you know? And I know you're happy now, but I die at the thought of you becoming a NEET in a few years because you're not used to the real world. Sayori, stop, okay? If I want to be an introvert, I'm going to be an introvert. Also, what's a NEET or an N-E-T? I don't know how to say that.
Hello?
You trust me, right? Don't make me keep worrying about you. All right. I'll look at a few clubs if it makes you happy. No promises, though. Will you at least promise me you'll try a little? Yeah, I guess I'll promise you that. Yay! Why do I let myself get lectured by such a carefree girl? More than that, I'm surprised I even let myself relent to her. I guess seeing her worry so much about me makes me want to ease her mind at least a little bit, even if she does exaggerate everything inside her head. Yeah, what about me going to college, huh? And what if I don't go to college? There you go, problem solved. The school day is as ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. After I pack my things, I stare blankly at the wall, looking for an ounce of motivation. Clubs. Sayori wants me to check out some clubs. I guess I have no choice but to start with the anime club. Hello? Sayori? Sayori must have come into the classroom while I was spacing out. I look around and realize I'm the only one left in the classroom. I thought I'd catch you coming out of the classroom, but I saw you just sitting there and spacing out, so I came in. Honestly, you're even worse than me sometimes. I'm impressed. Oh, no need to think so great about me, Sayori. I will literally fall to sleep to anything. You don't need to wait up for me if it's going to make you late to your own club. Well, I thought you might need some encouragement, so I thought, you know. Know what? Well, that you could come to my club? Sayori. Yeah? There's no way I'm going to your club. What's your club about? Come on, give me some marketing here. Meanie. Sayori is vice president of the literature club. Oh my gosh, I gotta make poems? I hate poems. Not that I was ever aware that she had any interest in literature. In fact, I'm 99% sure she only did it because she thought it would be fun to help start a new club. Since she was the first one to show interest after the one who proposed the club, she inherited the title vice president. That said, my interest in literature is guaranteed to be even less. Yeah, I'm going to the anime club. Come on, please! No, Sayori, I want to read Demon Slayer and Jujutsu Kaisen, man. Why do you care so much anyway? Well, I kind of told the club yesterday that I would bring in a new member. And Natsuki made cupcakes and everything. Don't make promises you can't keep, Sayori! What the heck? I can't tell if Sayori is really that much of an airhead, or if she's so cunning as to have planned all of this out. I let out a long sigh. Fine. Stop by for a cupcake, okay? Yes! Let's go! And thus, today marks the day I sold my soul for a cupcake. Gosh damn it, Hotpara! You're supposed to be stronger than this! I dejectedly follow Sayori across the school and upstairs. A section of the school I rarely visit, being generally used for third-year classes and activities. Sayori, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. Everyone, the new member is here! I told you, don't call me a new member. I glance around the room. Welcome to the literature club. It's a pleasure to meet you. Sayori always says nice things about you. Seriously, you brought a boy? Oh, sorry. Am I supposed to be a boy? I'm just gonna keep acting like me. Way to kill the atmosphere. Ah, Hotpara. What a nice surprise. Welcome to the club. All words escape me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls. Hotpara, keep it together. What are you looking at? If you want to say something, say it. Sorry. Natsuki? The girl with the sour attitude, whose name is apparently Natsuki, is one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes me think she's probably a first year. She is also the one who made cupcakes, according to Sayori. You can just ignore her when she gets moody. Sayori says that quietly into my ear, then turns back toward the other girls. Oh wait, Sayori and Natsuki is gonna sound a lot alike, don't they? Okay, I'll make one chipper and the other one sour. Anyway, this is Natsuki, always full of energy. And this is Yuri, the smartest in the club. Don't say things like that. Yuri, who appears comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with people like Sayori and Natsuki. Well, it's nice to meet both of you. And it sounds like you already know Monika, is that right? That's right. It's great to see you again, Hotpara. It's me, Hotpara. This name was a mistake, and yet for some reason it adds like a sense of humor. Monika smiles sweetly. Why are you posing like that? We do know each other. Well, we really talked, but we were in the same class last year. Monika was probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, athletic, basically completely out of my league. So having her smile at me so genuinely feels a little... You too, Monika. Come sit down, Hotpara. I made room for you at the table so you can sit next to me or Monika. I'll get the cupcakes. Hey, I made them. I'll get them. Sorry, I got a little too excited. Then how about I make some tea as well? The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. As Sayori mentioned, it's been widened so that there's one space next to Monika and one space next to Sayori. Natsuki and Yuri walk over to the corner of the room, where Natsuki grabs a wrapped tray and Yuri opens the closet. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Sayori. Natsuki proudly marches back to the table, tray in hand. Okay, are you ready? Ta-da! Woo! Natsuki lifts the fold off the tray to reveal a dozen white fluffy cupcakes decorated to look like little cats. Oh my gosh, cat cupcakes. How could I murder them? How could you make them cute that I would have to have a guilty conscience while I bite into their faces? The whiskers are drawn with icing, and little pieces of chocolate are used to make ears. So cute! I had no idea you were so good at baking, Natsuki. Well, you know. Just hurry and take one. Sayori grabs one first, then Monika. I follow. It's delicious! Sayori talks with her mouth full and has already managed to get icing on her face. I turn the cupcake around in my fingers, looking for the best angle to take a bite. Natsuki is quiet. I can't help but notice her sneaking glances in my direction. Come on, man, she wants her appreciation on her cupcake. I would too if I made them cute as hell. Is she waiting for me to take a bite? I finally bite down. The icing is sweet and full of flavor. I wonder if she made it herself. This is really good. Thank you, Natsuki. But why are you thanking me? It's not like
Haven't I heard this somewhere before?
What? I'm sorry? Haven't I heard this somewhere No? Hotpara? This is the first time I'm playing this. Made them for you, or anything. Eh? I thought you technically did. Sayori said, well, maybe. But not for you know, you, dummy. All right. I give up on Natsuki's weird logic and dismiss the conversation. Natsuki, I feel like I'm saying her name wrong. Yuri returns to the table, carrying a tea set. She carefully places the teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot next to the cupcake tray. You keep a whole tea set in this classroom? Don't worry, the teachers gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? I guess. Yeah. Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. That's not... Insulted, Yuri looks away. I meant that, you know. I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but I at least enjoy tea. I'm glad. She wasn't trying to impress me, Monika. Stop being weird, okay? I'm not a guy, so I know when a lady's just trying to give a guy some tea, alright? Stop making this stereotypical. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. Monika raises an eyebrow, then smiles at me. So, what made you consider it the literature club? I was afraid of this question. Something tells me I shouldn't tell Monika that I was practically dragged here by Sayori and bribed with cupcakes, okay? Well, I haven't joined any clubs yet, and Sayori seems really happy here, so... That's okay, don't be embarrassed. We'll make sure you feel right at home, okay? As president of the literature club, it is my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. Monika, I'm surprised. How come you decided to start your own club? You could probably be board member for any of the major clubs. Weren't you a leader of a debate club last year? Well, you know. To be honest, I can't stand all the politics around the major clubs. I feel like nothing but arguing about the budget and publicity and how to prepare for events. I'd much rather take something I'd personally enjoy and make something special out of it. And if it encourages others to get into literature, then I'm fulfilling that dream. Monika really is a great leader. Yuri also smiles. Why is Sayori sounding more and more like Lancer the longer I continue this? Yuri also nods in agreement. Then, I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. It must be hard starting a new club. You could put it that way. Not many people are very interested in putting all the effort to start something brand new. Especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention, like literature. I can't stand writing poems. End me. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile. But it makes school events like the festival that much more important. I'm confident that we can all really grow this club before we graduate. Right, everyone? Yeah! We'll do our best. You know it! Everyone enthusiastically agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monika must have really worked hard to find these three. Maybe that's why we're all so delighted by the idea of a new member joining. Though I still don't really know if I can keep up with their level of enthusiasm about literature. So, Hotpara, what kind of things do you like to read? Well, considering how little I've read these past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. Well, listen, Monstrumology, if you're looking for real literature, Monstrumologist? I think that's what it's called, the Monstrumologist. Considering how little I've read these past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. Magna? I read it quietly to myself, half joking. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. She looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet. You like manga too? How's Demon Slayer going on? Not much of a reader, I guess. How dare you? You're lucky I even read manga at all, woman. You're lucky I read anything. Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri? Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger. My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me. Like Ranger's Apprentice? Ranger's Apprentice is another good one. Maybe Bobby? No, what's it called? Bobby Pendragon? My gosh, that one, I didn't even finish it yet. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me. And telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seems so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious by the way her eyes light up that she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people. But you know, I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately. Ooh, horror! If you're looking for horror, Furnace. Furnace? Oh, no, I don't know. I don't know the name of the title, but I'll put the book on screen. That was the most horrifying book that I ever read in my entire life, and it was the author. I think the author's name was like Alexander Smith or something. First book series. It was absolutely horrifying, and I enjoyed it. I read a horror book once. I just really grasped something I can relate to at the minimal level. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with a rock. Really? I wouldn't have expected that, Yuri. For someone as gentle as you. I guess you could say that. But if a story makes me think or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. Ugh, I hate horror. Oh? Why's that? Well, Natsuki's eyes dart over to me for a split second. You like Magna, just admit it. Never mind. That's right, you usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? What? What gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper behind the last club meeting. It looked like you were working on a poem called... Don't say it out loud! And give it back! Fine. Your cupcakes, your poems, everything you do is just as cute as you are. Sayori slides up behind Natsuki and puts her hands on her shoulders. I'm not cute! Natsuki, you write your own poems? Well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care? I think it's impressive. Why don't you share them sometimes? No! Natsuki averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them. Not a very confident writer yet? I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers. Yuri. I guess it's the same for Yuri. I wanted to read everyone's poems. We all sit in silence for a moment. Okay, I have an idea, everyone. Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monika. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. Then, next time we meet, we'll all share them with each other. That way, everyone is even. Yeah, let's do it! Plus, now that we have a new member, I think it will help us all get a little more comfortable with each other and strengthen the bond of the club. Isn't that right, Hotpara? That's me. Every time. Monika smiles warmly at me once again. Hold on. There's still one problem, though. What's that? Now that we're all back to the original topic of me joining the club, I bluntly come forth with what's been on my mind the entire time. I never said I would join this club. Sayori may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made any decision. That's exactly right. I still have other clubs to look at, and, I lose my train of thought. All four girls stare back at me with dejected eyes. No, do not give me those puppy, bunny, cat eyes, okay? But, I'm sorry, I thought... Hotpara... You all... I'm defensive against these girls. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? That is, if writing poem is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls? Right. Okay, guys, you would not believe it. In my split-second decision that I was about to quit this club, I've decided. I'll join the literature club. One by one, the girls' eyes light up. Yes, I'm so happy! Sayori wraps her arms around me, jumping up and down. Hey! You really did scare me for a moment. If you really just came for the cupcakes, I would have been super pissed. Then let's make it official. Welcome to the literature club. Thanks, I guess. Okay, everyone. I think with that, we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem to bring to the next meeting so we can all share. Monika looks over at me once more. Hotpara, I look forward to see how you express yourself. Yeah. Dude, I suck at writing. Like, I can write pretty good, but poems, stuff like that, I suck. I can't do literature. I suck at literature. Screw literature. Can I really impress the cast star Monika with my mediocre writing skills? I already feel the anxiety welling up inside of me. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri and Natsuki clean up their food.
Hey, Hotpara, since we're already here, do you want to walk home together?
That's right, Sayori and I never walk home together anymore because she always stayed after school for clubs. Sure, might as well.
Yay!
Cool. With that, the two of us depart the club room and make our way home. My gosh, what the heck am I gonna be thinking while I'm laying in bed tonight? Being all like, did I just get bribed to joining a literature club, my worst enemy, with a cupcake? And some boobies, of course, but with a cupcake! Sorry. With that, the two of us depart the classroom and make our way home. The whole way, my mind wanders back and forth between the four girls. Sayori, Natsuki, Yuri, and of course, Monika. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in a literature club? Perhaps I'll have the chance to grow closer to one of these girls. Alright, I just need to make the most of my circumstances, and I'm sure good fortune will find me. And I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. No, I hate poems. Why did I play this?
It's time to write a poem. Pick the words you think your favorite club member will like.
Something good might happen with whoever likes your poem the most. Now, honestly, I'm not really interested in anybody, so I'm just gonna go with like what I find good. I like the word loud. Ocean. Oh my gosh, no, I don't want to be with Sayori. I like the word despise. Yeah. Fear. Daydream? Oh my gosh, I'm sticking with Sayori. Okay, gosh darn it. Tragedy. Anger. Unrestrained. Imagination. Yeah, I like imagination. Eternity. There's a lot of ones that I like here. Anxiety. Doki Doki. Okay. Laugh. Shiny. Wait, why is Monika not in these? Didn't I get to pick Monika? Let's see. Incapable. Oh, goodness gracious. The universe. Boop. Judgment. Contamination. Vivid. Yeah, sure. Child. Explode. Disoriented. Unstable. No, I'm getting all Yuri. Okay, well, listen. Vertigo. Hi again, Hotpara. Glad to see you didn't run away on us. Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but I at least keep my word. Well, I'm back at the literature club. I was the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Thanks for keeping your promise, Hotpara. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment to you. Making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it?
Oh, come on! Like he deserves any slack. So Yuri told me you didn't even want to join any clubs this year. And last year, too. I don't know if you plan to just come here to hang out or what, but if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it.
Natsuki, you certainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps her maggot collection in the club room. Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monika and Magna.
Magna is literature!
Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat. It is. See, she understands.
Don't worry, guys. Hotpara always gives it his best as long as he's having fun. It helps me with busy work without me even asking. Like cooking, cleaning my room.
How dependable. Sayori, that's because your room is so messy it's distracting. And you almost set your house on fire once.
Is that so?
You two are really good friends, aren't you? I might be a little jealous.
How come? You and Hotpara can become good friends too.
Sayori? As usual, Sayori seems oblivious to the weird situation she just put me into.
Oh! Yuri even brought you something today, you know.
Wait, Sayori? Me? Not really.
Don't be shy.
It's really nothing.
What is it?
Never mind. Sayori made it sound like it's a big deal when it's really not. What do I do? I'm sorry, Yuri, I wasn't thinking. I guess that means it's up to me to rescue the situation. Hey, don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place. So any nice gesture from you is a pleasant surprise. It'll make me happy no matter what. Is that so? Yeah, I won't make a big deal if you don't want it to be. Alright. Well, here. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so I shouldn't keep your attention, even if you don't usually read. And we could, discuss it if you wanted. How is this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked at a book she thinks I'd like despite me not reading much. What is it? I want to know the book. What's the book called? Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book.
Phew. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I'm looking forward to hearing what you think.
Now that everyone's settled in, I expect Monika to kick off some schedule activities for the club. That doesn't seem to be the case. Sayori and Monika are having a cheery conversation in the corner. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she's waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. She's getting sub magna! Woo 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 woo! I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a bit more. But at the same time, I would feel bad for distracting her from reading. I catch a glimpse of the cover of her book. It looks like the same book that she lent to me. You got 2 books of that? More than that, she seems to be on the first few pages. Crap. I think she noticed me looking at her. She sinks another glance at me and our eyes meet for a split second. Listen, I'm not a creep, I'm not weird. But that only makes her hide her face deeper in her book. Sorry. I was just spacing out. I muttered this, sensing that I made her uncomfortable. Oh, it's fine. If I was focused, then I probably wouldn't have noticed in the first place. But I'm just rereading a bit of this, so... That's the book you gave me, right? Mm-hmm. I wanted to reread some of it. Not for any particular reason. Just curious, how come you have 2 copies of the same book? Well, when I stopped at the bookstore yesterday... that's not what I meant. I mean, I just happened to buy 2 of them. Ah, I see. There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decided to let it go. I'll definitely start reading it soon. I'm glad to hear. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging and relatable story. Is that so? What's it about anyway? Well, wait, why does she have to tell you this? Open the book cover and read the side length. Come on. Well, I guess I can't read and I can't even look at the book. Yuri closes the book and scans her eyes over the back. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. It's an ominous-looking eye symbol in the front cover. Alright, I just wanted to make sure I didn't accidentally give anything away. Basically, it's about this girl in high school who moves in with her long-lost younger sister. But as soon as she does so, her life gets really strange. She gets targeted by these people who escaped from a human experiment prison. And while her life is in danger, she needs to desperately choose who to trust. No matter what she does, she ends up destroying most of her relationships and her life starts to fall apart. That's kind of... Wow. Oh my gosh. That actually sounds really good. It's kind of dark, isn't it? Nah. You didn't make it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so that dark turn came from nowhere. Yuri gently giggles all of a sudden. Are you not a fan of this sort of thing, Hotpara? No, it's not that. I wasn't expecting that. I mean, I can definitely enjoy this kind of story, so don't worry. I hope so. Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri's into those things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. It's just that those kind of stories, they challenge you to look at life from a strange new perspective. When horrible things happen, not just because someone wants to be evil, but because they have their own goals or their own philosophy that they believe in, then suddenly, when you thought you related to the protagonist, they're made out to be the naive one for letting their one-sided morals interfere with the villain's plans. I'm rambling, aren't I? Not again. I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything. Well, I guess it's alright then. But I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like books and writing fill my thoughts, I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. So I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange. And please, stop me if I'm talking too much. I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen. It's a literature club after all. That's true. In fact, I might as well get started reading it, right? You don't have to. What are you saying? Just a moment ago you said you were looking forward to it. Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieved the book that I had put into my bag. Alright, it's fine if I sit here, right? I step into the seat next to Yuri's. Yeah. Are you sure? Yeah, you seem a little flustered in the face. You seem a little apprehensive. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. It's just something I'm not very used to. That is, reading in company with someone else. I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. Alright. I open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not particularly a bad thing. Maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri is in the corner of my eye. I realize that she's not actually looking at her own book. Wait, does that mean I got Yuri's ending or whatever poem I got in the beginning? I glance over. It looks like she's reading from my book instead. Sorry, I was just... Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you?
I do? I don't really mean to. Sorry. I
mean... Here, this should work, right? I set my desk until it's up against Yuri's, then hold my book more between the two of them.
I suppose so.
Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we each lean in a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. It feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead I use my right hand to hold the book open. I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the page.
Here. Oh, thanks.
Wait, how the heck are we sitting?
What is that?
Oh my gosh, Yuri, you're hogging most of the book. Give me some reading space, come on. You're supposed to be in the middle of both of us. Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. I do the same with my right arm on the right side of the book. That way, I turn a page and Yuri slides it under her thumb after it flips to her side. But in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer together than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face, and she's in the corner of my vision.
Are you ready?
Huh? What? Sorry, I was too busy looking at your... I don't know any gemstones that are purple. Your purple eyeball.
To turn the page.
Oh, sorry. I think I got a bit distracted for a second. You didn't even read a single word. Oh, Hotpara. Oh, cringe, cringe, cringe. I glance over at Yuri's face again, and our eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her.
That's okay. You're not used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. It's probably the least I can do. Since you've been so patient with me.
Yeah, thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she finishes the page before me, so I turn it by my own violation. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. What is this, Shakespeare? Hey Yuri, this might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit.
You think so? How does she?
Well, I guess she's more blunt in a lot of ways. But she also second guesses all of her things that she says and does. Like, she's afraid she'll do something wrong. It's not like I can see into your head or anything, but they're kind of reminiscent of some of your mannerisms.
I see.
Yuri remains silent for a moment. But, Hotpara, that's probably a terrible thing to have in common with her. Oh, it's so embarrassing that you think that. Wait! I didn't mean it in a bad way or anything. Sorry, I really didn't know you were self-conscious about that sort of thing. I guess I more meant it that it's kind of cute. What are you saying all of a sudden? Keep it together! Keep it together! Oh my gosh. What are you saying all of a sudden? Okay, everyone! Monika, what the... I think it's time we share today's poems with each other. We might not have enough time if we wait too long. Yuri exhales, spared from finishing her thought. Is that alright, Yuri? You look kind of down. I'm sorry if you haven't been looking forward to this.
No, it's not. It's fine.
Yuri releases her hand from the book, causing it to close on top of my thumb. Alright. I guess I'll do some more reading tonight. Or would you prefer I only read it with you?
I guess I don't have too much of a preference either way.
In that case, I'll read a little more tonight. It'll be more fun to read with you after it picks up a bit, you know?
That's a good reasoning. In that case, feel free to finish the first 2 chapters in your own time.
Alright. I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book, then slip it back into my bag. Wait a minute. You're not putting a little, like, fold the page in? Keep, like, a bookmark? Nothing? A little piece of paper? You just rip it, stick it in there? No, you're just gonna close the book and hope that your brain remembers? Nah, no. By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night? Yeah. My relaxation ends. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. I couldn't really find much of an inspiration since I'd never really done this before. Well, now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share with?
I can't wait!
Sayori and Monika enthusiastically pull out their poems. Sayori's is on a wrinkled sheet of loose leaf torn from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monika wrote hers in a composition notebook. I can already see Monika's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. I do the same myself. Oh boy, it's gonna be trash. Should I show my poem to first? I'll be honest, I kinda like picking on Natsuki. I told Natsuki I was interested in her poems yesterday. It's probably only fair that I share mine with her first. Hi.
Well, it's about what I expected from someone like you.
That's a little blunt.
Well, excuse me. It's not like I said it was bad. It just didn't evoke any emotions.
So basically, it's not cute enough for your tastes?
Did you want to get smacked?
I'll pass.
Well, anyway, I guess I need to show you mine. Not that you'll like it.
Let me see.
Eagles can fly. Monkeys can climb. Crickets can leap. Horses can race. Owls can seek. Cheetahs can run. Eagles can fly. People can try. But that's about it.
Wow, that is depressing, Natsuki.
Yeah. I told you that you weren't gonna like it.
I like it.
What? Just be honest.
I am. Jeez Louise, stop snapping at me, woman. Why are you so convinced that I won't like it?
Well, because!
Dude, we both like Magna here.
Everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff, so people don't even take my writing seriously.
But isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Blah, I can't read. The poems, blah, 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 blah.
Yes, exactly. I like when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like in this poem. Seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening, so I decided to write about it.
Yeah, I understand.
But the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like, I set up for a rhyme at the end, but then made it fall flat on purpose.
Yeah, I realized it. It ruined everything.
It helps bring out the feeling in the last line.
So you did. I guess more went into it than I realized.
That's what it means to be a pro. Poop. I'm glad you learned something. Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did you?
Yeah, I guess not. Shit, Natsuki, I can't even write poems. I mean, what do you want me to do? I decided to humor her with that last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki is feeling proud, then I won't take that away from her. Okay, let's show it to... I kind of want to see what Monika is, because Yuri's obviously horror. Actually, Sayori, what does she write about? What's up?
This is a good poem, host Para. Are you sure it's your first time?
Of course. It's not that good. Am I the kind of guy who would be writing poems in his spare time?
I guess you're right. But that's why it impressed me. Well, to be honest, I was afraid that you wouldn't do it seriously, or that you wouldn't write one at all. I'm really happy that you wrote one. It just reminds me of how you're really a part of the club now.
Not to mention the fact that I'm standing in front of you in the club room? Well, of course. I'm not really into it yet, but that doesn't mean I'll break my promise.
See? It's like I said before, Hotpara. Deep down, you're not selfish at all, you know? Trying new things like this for other people? That's something that only really good people do.
Thanks, Sayori. I'm not sure if Sayori sees the full picture of my motive here. Then again, I can't deny that she's part of the reason I joined, knowing how much this means to her and all.
Yeah. And I'm going to make sure you have lots of fun here, okay? That would be my way of thanking you.
Alright, I'm going to hold you to that then.
Yay! Now, you read my poem too, right? Don't worry, I'm really bad at this.
We'll see about that. Alright, give me up.
Dear sunshine, the way you glow through my blinds in the morning, it makes me feel like you miss me, kissing my forehead to help me out of bed, making me rub the sleepy from my eyes. Are you asking me to come out and play? Are you trusting me to wish away my rainy day? I look above. The sky is blue. It's a secret, but I trust you too. If it wasn't for you, I could sleep forever. But I'm not mad. I want breakfast.
I want breakfast. I'm hungry. Screw you, son. Our relationship is over until tomorrow. Sayori, this is just a guess, but did you wait until this morning to write this? No! Just a little bit. Dude, you literally ended it with, I want breakfast, not dinner, alright? You can't answer just a little bit. It's a yes or no question.
I forgot to do it last night.
Well, at least that makes me feel a little better about myself.
Don't be mean. I still tried my best.
Yeah. I didn't mean to say that it was a bad poem. It came out nice, or how should I put it? It sounds just like you.
Really?
Yeah. Especially that last line.
I made eggs and toast!
Even though you were late to school.
It's bad to skip breakfast. I get all cranky.
Well, I guess there's no point in arguing. Anyway, thanks for showing me.
This was so much fun. Monika's the best.
Yeah.
But next time, I won't forget. And I'm gonna write the best poem ever.
Well, I guess I look forward to it. Okay, I'm gonna look at Monika. I know Yuri's is gonna be like really dark, so I'm just gonna save her for last. Hi, Hotpara. Having a good time so far? Yeah. Good, glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyway, want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Don't worry, Hotpara. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know? But it's just a sort of barrier that we all learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. I hand Monika my poem. Great job, Hotpara. I was going ooh in my head while reading it. It's really metaphorical. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. I guess I underestimated you. It's easiest for me to keep everyone's expectations low. That way, it always counts when I put in some effort. That's not very fair. Well, I guess it worked anyway. You know that Yuri likes this kind of writing, right? Writing that's full of imagery and symbolism. Unlike Sayori, who likes using simple and direct words to describe happiness and sadness. Yuri likes it when readers are left to derive their own meaning out of it. It's really challenging to write like that effectively, both allowing people to get something out of it just by feel, or letting them deeply analyze all the nuisance. It can take years of practice, which I'm assuming Yuri has at this point. I never really asked though. I'm sure I'm nowhere near her level yet. Oh wait, shoot. Oh my gosh, who's speaking? I wasn't even paying attention to the names, I'm so sorry. Don't worry so much about it. Do your own thing. You know, the color for my name should be different because I keep getting to, I don't know when they switch. Just keep exploring and learn by trying new things. I'm sure I'll end up trying different things a lot. It could take a while before I feel comfortable doing this. That's okay. I'd love to see you try new things. That's the best way to find the kind of style that suits you. Everyone else might be a little bit biased towards their own kinds of styles, but I'll always help you find what suits you the most. So don't force yourself to write the way everyone else wants you to write. It's not like you have to worry about impressing them or anything. I kinda do, Monika. Yeah. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims not to be very good. Well, that's because I have to sound confident. Yeah, it's kind of weird if you're the literature, leader or club leader and you don't really, know a lot about literature. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know? I see. Well, let's read it then.
Hall and wall. It could have been me. See the direction the spackle protrudes? A noisy neighbor, an angry boyfriend? I'll never know I wasn't home. I peer inside for a clue. No, I can't see. I reel blind, like a film left out in the sun. But it's too late. My retina's already scorched with a permanent copy of a meaningless image. It's just a little hole. It wasn't too bright. It was too deep, stretching forever into everything. A hole of infinite choices. I realize now that I wasn't looking in. I was looking out. And he, on the other side, was looking in.
What the heck? So what did you think? Okay. It sounds like a freaking horror movie. It's very freeform, if that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. It's okay. Yeah, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. What was the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not really sure how to put it. I guess you could say that I had some kind of epiphany recently. I've been influencing my poems a bit. An epiphany? Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about these stuff like that because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other? Anyway, here's Monika's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on the paper and tidy it up later. Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. No, wait. Actually, that's actually really helpful. Thanks for listening. All right, let's do a Yuri and then we'll stop it there. My throat's starting to hurt. As Yuri reads the poem, I notice her eyes lighten. Exceptional. Eh? What was that? Did I say that out loud? Yuri first covers her mouth, but then ends up covering her whole face. He's going to hate me. You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri. Huh? I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for? Yuri takes a breath. So, what kind of writing experience do you have? Your use of imagery and metaphors indicates you've written a lot of poetry before. Really? Wow, that's a huge compliment coming from you. But this is actually my first time. Really. Huh? He just stares at me blankly, then looks at my poem again. Well, I know that. I just meant, Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. She traces her finger along the words of the poem, as if breaking it down more thoroughly. Yeah. Okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their own style very deliberately. In other words, they tend to pick up writing styles separate from the topic matter, and they form-fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone, and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something that you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki could be a little biased, though. Biased? How? Well, she only likes cute things. Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily, as if it's a rare opportunity for her, which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Oh no! Cursive! Frick. Okay, alright. If I take out the G in the first letter, it's host. Alright. Ghost under the light. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow. Bathing. It must be this one. The last remaining streetlight to have withstood the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe. Calm. Breathing. As of... I don't know what that word is. Breathing... This one right here. Breathing as of the present but living in the past. The light flickers. I flicker back. Oh, ghost into the light. Oh, you're translucent. Got it. I'm sorry I have such terrible handwriting. What? I wasn't thinking that at all. Okay, it's great handwriting, and my mother would be very impressed, but I cannot read cursive, so you already stopped that. But it took you a long time to read. How did you know that? How did you know I can't read cursive? Well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. Huh? That's a relief. Oh, so I like the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive. It wasn't too short? I usually write longer poems. Not at all. I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest, since our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into ghosts, Yuri? Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Hotpara. It isn't? Gosh damn it, I sucked at my poem, language arts thing. Okay, my English, let's just say when it came to poems, I got a bad grade. Really? I must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolic compared to a ghost, lingering in their last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot more solemn putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive. Huh? It's nothing really. Yours was impressive too, so... Nah. If anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you. You think so? Yeah, of course. You know, I was really nervous about doing all this, but in the end, I enjoyed it. I'm going to keep doing my best for you, Hotpara. Me too. Cool. Can I go home now? I'm tired. Phew. I guess that's everyone. I glanced around the room. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. I wasn't thinking the days were going to be this long. It's as if everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing abilities. Even if they're just being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. This is a literature club after all. I sigh. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Sayori and Monika are happily chatting. My eyes are on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Oh no, they're like polar opposites. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow, oh my gosh, I can't say it, in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly.
What's with this language?
Did you say something?
It's nothing.
Natsuki dismissively turns the poem to the desk with one hand.
I guess you could say it's fancy.
Thanks. Yours is... cute.
Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute?
I know that. I just meant... the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice.
You mean you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but it didn't really come up nice at all.
Well, I do have a couple suggestions.
If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Sayori liked it, and Hotpara did too. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all...
Excuse me. I appreciate the offer, but I spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect it to change anytime soon, unless of course I come across something particularly inspiring. Which I haven't yet. And Hotpara liked my poem too, you know? He even told me he was impressed by it. Natsuki suddenly stands up.
Oh! I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress a new member, Yuri.
That's not what You're just... Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that Hotpara appreciates my advice more than he appreciates yours.
Huh? And how do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself?
No. If I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy.
Is everyone okay? Well, you know what? I wasn't the one who's...
Oh my gosh. Magically grew a size bigger as soon as Hotpara started showing up. Natsuki! Oh my gosh. I don't even want to say it. Natsuki, that's a little... This doesn't involve you. I don't like fighting, guys. Suddenly, both girls turned towards me, as if they just noticed I was standing there. No, I don't exist. Stop looking at me. Hotpara, she's just trying to make me look bad.
That's not true. She started it. If she could just get over herself and learn to appreciate that simple writing is more effective, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. What's the point of making your poems all convoluted for no reason? The meaning should jump out at the reader, not force them to have to figure it out. Help me explain that to her, Hotpara.
Well, wait. There's a reason we have so many deep and expressive words in our language. It's the only way to convey complex feelings and meanings the most effectively. Avoiding them is not only unnecessarily limiting yourself, but also a waste. You understand that, right, Hotpara? Listen, girls, I don't... Well? How did I get dragged into this in the first place? It's not like I know anything about writing, but whoever I'm agree with, they'll probably think more highly of me. So of course, that's going to be... Sayori, help me! Natsuki? Natsuki glares at me, drawing up any words I had in my mouth. So instead I turn to Yuri. Yuri? But Yuri's expression is so defensive that I can't bring myself to say anything to her. Sayori! Yeah, everyone's fighting is making Sayori uncomfortable. How can the two of you keep fighting when you know you're making your friend feel like this?
Hotpara? Well, that's her problem. This isn't about her.
I agree. It's unfair for others to interject their own feelings onto our conflict.
Yeah, unless Sayori wants to tell Yuri what a stuck-up jerk she's being.
She would never! It's your immaturity that's made her upset in the first place.
Excuse me? Are you listening to yourself? This is exactly why nobody likes... Stop! Natsuki, Yuri, you guys are my friends. I just want everyone to get along and be happy. My friends are wonderful people, and I love them because of their differences. Natsuki's poems, they're amazing because they give you so many feelings with just a few words. And Yuri's poems are amazing because they paint beautiful pictures in your head. Everyone's so talented, so why are we fighting? Because... Well... Also, Natsuki's cute and there's nothing wrong with that. And Yuri's...
are the same as they always were. I don't want to say that.
Big and beautiful.
Sayori? Sayori stands up triumphantly. Monika stands behind her with a bewildered expression. I'll make some tea. Yuri rushes off. Natsuki sits down with a blank expression on her face, staring at nothing. So this is why Sayori's vice president, I whisper to Monika. She nods in return. To be honest, I might come off as a good leader, and I can organize things, but I'm not very good with people. I couldn't even bring myself to interject. As president, that's kind of embarrassing of me. Nah, it's not like I can blame you. I wasn't able to say anything either. Well, I guess that just means Sayori is amazing in her own ways, isn't she? You could say that. She might be an airhead, but sometimes it's weirdly suspicious that she knows exactly what she's doing. I see. Take good care of her, okay? I would hate to see her get herself hurt. That makes two of us. You can count on me. Monika smiles sweetly at me, causing my stomach to knot. Such a genuine person really does make a good president, regardless of what she says. If only I could get the chance to talk to her a little more. Okay, everyone. It's just about time for us to leave. How did you all feel about sharing poems? It was a lot of fun. Well, I'd say it was worth it.
It was alright. Well, mostly.
Hotpara, what about you? Yeah, I'd say the same. It was a neat thing to talk about with everyone. Awesome! In that case, we'll do the same thing tomorrow. And maybe you learned something from your friends too. So your poems will turn out even better. I think to myself, I did learn a little more about the kinds of poems everyone likes. With any luck, that means I can at least do a better job impressing those I want to impress. And not to myself with newfound determination.
Hotpara, ready to walk home?
Sure, let's go. Sayori beams at me. It surely has been a while since Sayori and I spent this much time together. I can't really say I'm not enjoying it either. Sayori, about what happened earlier.
What do you mean?
You know, between Yuri and Natsuki? Does that kind of thing happen often?
No! That's really the first time I've seen them fight like that. I promise they're both wonderful people. You don't hate them, do you?
No, I don't hate them. I just wanted your opinion, that's all. I can see why they'd make good friends with you.
Phew. You know, Hotpara, it's nice that I get to spend time with you in the club. But I think seeing you get along with everyone is what makes me the happiest. And I think everyone really likes you too.
That's...
Every day is going to be so much fun.
It looks like Sayori still hasn't caught into the kind of situation I'm in. Sure, being friends with everyone is nice, but does it really need to stop there? Yes.
That's
Why would it go any
suspicious.
further? We'll just have to see what the future holds, Sayori. I pat Sayori on the shoulder. I said that more to myself than to her, but it's easy to use Sayori as an internal monologue sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do this. Amazing. Alright, let's save it here. I cannot anymore. I'm so tired. So many females. It's kind of weird that Monika doesn't really show up in the whole, like, pick a girl thing, because I would thought she was one of, like, you know, the options. But I guess not. Okay, well, this video was way longer than I thought it was going to be. I should have stopped it on the first day, but I didn't, like a dum-dum, and now it's probably already been an hour. So, yeah, Doki Doki Literature Club, having so much fun about it. I was not expecting those two to fight. I think that was the funniest part of all. Also, the fact that I named myself Hotpara. Can I even change that? Oh my gosh, I can't, can I? I had so much fun. I can't wait for the next episode, but it won't be coming anytime soon. I'll play some other games so I keep some of you entertained because some of you didn't want me to play Doki Doki Literature Club and they want me to continue playing, like, you know, Cycle Dates. It's sort of like novel games that not a lot of people know about. I also have to get back to Deltarune. So, yeah, thank you for coming to today's Masquerade, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you had a good time. My name's Para, your host, and I upload every Wednesday. And subscribe if you enjoyed, so you can get notified when I upload a new video or the second part of Doki Doki Literature Club. So if you guys want to see the Cycle Days playlist, then I put it up on the screen right now, so you can go check it out.